Good bin, bad bin, they are friends. The YouTube fun never ends. It's gotta be the intro now, doesn't it? Hi! Hi, I'm Claudia, and today I'm talking about my ao3 bookmarks, because I have far too many. I have 433 bookmarks as of time of recording. I'll probably have more by the end of the day. And I've only been using ao3 for a year and a half. So in that time, I've amassed over 400 bookmarks. That's so bad. That's so bad, isn't it? And the worst part is, for the first 2 months when I was using ao3, I didn't know what bookmarks meant, so I didn't make any. So this has been like since last May. That's how bad this is. Basically, when I started using ao3, I thought bookmarking was like when you wanted updates as to when like people updated a fic. Like that's what I thought bookmarking was. That's subscribing. So I just didn't make any bookmarks until May when I figured it out. But today, we're going to be looking through them and seeing how I go through phases of reading different ships, basically, and well, different fandoms as well. And I'm filming on my phone, so we're looking at the bookmarks on my iPad, okay? I can't do both. I can't film and look at the bookmarks, so we're looking on my iPad, which is very weird for me because I usually only read fanfic on my phone, but we're dealing with it for today. So if we go right to the very first page, we have my first ever bookmark, which I bookmarked on the 21st of May 2023, 2 months after I started using ao3. And it is Survival as a Talent, which is one of my absolute favourite diary fics of all time. And this one actually, like, it's an unfinished one. It's still getting updates, although it hasn't had an update in like 6 months, but it is still getting updates. So you can tell I did think that bookmarking was like when you wanted updates on it, and then when I bookmarked that, I figured it out. So, you know, though it is one of my favourite diary fics of all time, I reread it a lot. It's a soulmate AU, it's so good, highly recommend, yeah. And we can see from there, I was fully in my diary phase, because then we immediately go to Away Childish Things, which I bookmarked on the 25th of May, and then Running on Air, which I also bookmarked on the 25th of May. As you can see, I was having a diary like moment right then. I think I had a diary moment for a lot longer than that actually, but we'll see. No, actually I didn't. Next bookmark is from the 1st of June, and it's Idiots on Reddit, which is my favourite buddy fic of all time, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that, I might find another one that I love more in a minute, but I love Idiots on Reddit so much. It's one of my favourite buddy fics. I love to reread it, so good. I'll probably reread it again very soon because obviously season 8's around the corner for 911. I don't know when season 8's coming out in the UK though, which sucks because I don't have a way of watching it because I'm British, you know, I don't have a way of watching it when it comes out in America. So that's great. Like last time the season was almost over by the time we got it in the UK. So I like literally everything had been spoiled for me. I'd seen it all on TikTok. It sucked. I'm just hoping it comes out in the UK at a reasonable date so we're not too far behind. Like please. If Buddy goes canon, I don't want to find out from Twitter. Next bookmark is also a buddy fic from a day later. And then another one from 2 days after that. Oh, it's The Mortifying Ordeal of Being Known. It's one of my favourite buddy fanfics as well. There's also, I think, a diary fanfic by the same name, which we'll probably find later, because I'm pretty sure I've read that one. Might not have. Who knows? This one is like, Buck is Bobby's actual adopted son, but everyone calls him Evan, but Buck is also dating Eddie, but Eddie calls him Buck, so like they talk to each other about like Evan and Buck, and they don't recognise that they're the same person. It's so good. And it's really quite funny to read because they don't realise they're talking about the same person. Yeah, another buddy fic. This one's, I had a bit of a break because it goes from the 4th all the way to the 16th of June. So maybe I just didn't find anything I wanted to bookmark in that time, but I don't recognise this fic. Oh no, I do recognise this fic. It's the one where they have a telepathic connection. Such a good fic. I remember that now. Like, just have to read the description, Claudia, come on. Oh, and now we're back to diary. Oh, we're on Lily's Boy. Lily's Boy, 7th of July, 2023. Oh my god, I love Lily's Boy. If you don't know, Lily's Boy is a diary fanfic. It's very long. It's 109 chapters, 750,000 words. It is one of my favourite fanfics of all time, although it doesn't take like the top spot just because of the background ships. It has very like weird background ships. I don't want to say weird, they're just not like the most common ones, and they are ships that people will immediately be like, they see them and don't read. But if you can get past them, I highly recommend Lily's Boy. It's great storytelling, and if you can skip past the background bits you don't like, you'll love it. And then, is that the same day? Same day as I finished Lily's Boy, because I bookmark things when I finish them. Same day I read Hermione Granger's Hogwarts Grammar for Delinquents on the Run. Such a good fic. It's only 8 parts, I think. Yeah, 8 chapters. And it's only 93,000 words, so it's not too long. But it's basically Harry never goes to Hogwarts, and then Hermione and the gang go and like find him like when he's like 17, and they like give him a crash course in magic, and they try and like defeat Voldemort when like Harry's just doesn't know anything. Great fic. It's short, it's got Drarry, it's funny. It's not very similar to canon, it's like very far away from canon, but it's just so funny and I love it so much. I reread it a lot. It's not like up there on my list, but it's a very good fic, and it holds a special place in my heart. I'm not gonna be talking about every single bookmark. I'm on the second page now. I'm just gonna be talking about like the most like standout ones, like the phases I'm going through. I'll mention like standout fics in each of those. Okay, cool. Oh, we're back to Buddy. Oh, it's this fic. Oh, I love this fic. 8th of July. That seems about right as to my memory. But this fic, it's called Sandy Heart. There's a lot of buddy fics where Buck works at the 118, Eddie's in the army, they're already dating or potentially even married in some cases. And then there's a lot of one-shots where like Eddie turns up at the firehouse and like that's how they meet his husband or whatever. This is the opposite. So Buck's in the Navy SEALs and Eddie's a firefighter. And it's so good. I love it so much. I can vividly remember it. I've reread it a couple times. Very good fic. Then we switch back into Harry Potter and we're into post-war Harry becomes a professor, which every so often I will get obsessed with that specific trope. Specifically, he normally becomes Defense Against the Dark Arts professor, like, come on. But a lot of these, this one specifically that I'm looking at right now is Harry Ginny, which I don't normally read. But this one I remember is very good. It's only one chapter, but it's 11,000 words, so it's just like, does that count as a one shot? Because it's only one chapter, which means like, yeah, one shot, but it's also 11,000 words. In my head, one shots are like max 6,000. I just call this like a really long one shot, or like a really good fic that's just in one chapter. Who knows? Oh, and Vortex. Oh, Vortex. I bookmarked this on the 27th of July last year. It actually features in an old TikTok of mine, which is when Girl Dinner was popular. I remember I was like reading Vortex at that time. It's only one chapter, it's 20,000 words. It's post-war Drarry. I absolutely love it. The maths brain in me like loves it as well. If you know, you know. It's a really good fic. It's like actually stunning. Love it so much. I've reread it quite a few times as well, I think. It's so good. Oh, the Changeling. Oh, I forgot about the Changeling. Oh my god. I haven't reread the Changeling in ages. The Changeling is actually a Harry Ginny fic, Hinny, if you will, which normally I don't read. But this one, you know how you have all the fics where so-and-so is in Slytherin for some reason, and like, you mostly get Harry in Slytherin, Ron in Slytherin, or Harry and Hermione in Slytherin, or all three of them in Slytherin, like, you get those ones. This one, Ginny's in Slytherin, which doesn't make any sense, but it's such a good fic. I love this fic so much. It's actually a series. There's like the first one, which is called The Changeling, and then there's like more that kind of follow on from that one. I don't have them right now. It obviously took me a couple days until I found the other ones. But it's such a good fic, and if you can get past that it's Hinny, I'd highly recommend it. Also, it's like, Ginny's a very different character than she's even in the books or the movies in these fics, and I absolutely love it. Like, if this was canon, I would be happy. But the characters wouldn't be, because people still die, you know, but it's such a good fic. It's so good. And then we go on to the Dudley Dursley has a magical child trope, which I get obsessed with every few months. This was obviously the first phase of that. Love those fics so much. They're funny, but they're also a bit angsty. So good with that trope. Oh, and then we go into the Armistice series proper. Basically, The Changeling is the first fic, and then there's the Armistice series, which is like the follow-ons from The Changeling, as I mentioned before. I obviously read those next. And then we have another Dudley Dursley has a magical child fic. Another Dudley Dursley has a... Oh no, that's not a magical child, I don't think. Oh no, it might be. Who knows? Sometimes it's just like Harry turns up at Dudley's house for some reason. They hit hard, but I love them so much, you know? Oh, and then it's this fic. This fic is so good. It's called The War Isn't Over When the Soldiers Come Home. It's a Hinny fic again. Sometimes I have phases where I only read Hinny, don't question it. I'm a Drarry girl at heart, but sometimes I just like it. It's like a bit different, you know? It's a bit different. But this one specifically is when the Potters get a Muggle nanny, and it's just kind of the life that they live with their 3 young kids. It's so good. I love it so much. It's only one chapter, but it's 14,000 words, so it's a bit of a longer read. Such a good fic. I've reread it so many times. Then we have a lot of Hinny with Harry being a professor. You know, I read quite a lot of those. Oh, and Some Bonds Won't Be Broken. Oh, I love that fic so much. This one it's ongoing. It was updated like this month, so it's still ongoing. It's 46 chapters right now, 177,000 words. It is a third year rewrite going forward. It's a Harry Potter fic. It's got no ships in as of right now, but it's so good. It's a Severitis fic. Is it Severitis or Severitis or Sevitus? However you want to pronounce it. It's when Snape decides to be good and look after children for once, you know? It's that kind of fic. But I love this fic so much. I've reread it kind of recently, actually. Like, when the new chapter came out, I was like, hold on, I haven't read this in a while. I'm going to reread it. It's so good. I love it so much. We're back into Drarry. Yeah, back into Drarry. Oh, Ignite the Spark. Ignite the Spark is so good. This actually had an update 3 days ago. It's a Drarry fic with background Wolfstar. And it's basically one of those fics where everything goes right. Dumbledore's a bit of an idiot. Everyone hates him. You know, that kind of thing where magical inheritance, creature inheritance, that kind of thing. If you're down for that, I'd highly recommend Ignite the Spark. And it's not finished yet, so you can like wait for it, like me. Like, I love this fic so much. It doesn't get updates too often, but they're all so good. It's so well written. I love this fic so much. Yeah, we're still fully in the Drarry era, which I probably will be for a while. Every time I go to a new page, I have to scroll out down to the bottom because we're going in backwards order. And yeah, we're still in the Drarry phase, firmly in the Drarry phase. And now we have the Hogwarts Hexad. I love the Hogwarts Hexad fics. They're so good. The first one's called Black Mulberry, the Hogwarts Hexad and Who's Stone Now. It's a complete rewrite of the Harry Potter series. We're currently on Prisoner of Azkaban, which I love. I love this series so much. Basically, Hermione's a Slytherin, Harry's a Slytherin. They're the Hexad because there's 6 of them. It's just so good. They're all just friends and they just rock about together. Snape's like completely done with them in the sense that he will have like a full head of grey hair by the time he's done with them at school because they're just so insane. Like, they just do stuff randomly and they're like, oh yeah, we did that, and then he almost has a heart attack. It's great. They're so funny. All 3 of the fics are so funny, but they're also like a good amount of angst, and they're still like they're not too departed from canon. They're still relatively canon, but obviously with a lot of changes. I love them so much. Obviously Prisoner of Azkaban one is still getting updates now, and I love it so much. It's actually pretty frequently updated. I get updates pretty frequently, and I would highly recommend these fics to any like Harry Potter fan, especially people who read, you know, Harry Potter fanfics. I don't think there's any ships in it right now. No, off the top of my head, there's no ships in it right now. So if you're not a ship fan, you'll still love it. Obviously, they're really young in the first few fics, so because it's a complete rewrite, but you'll still love it. It's funny, it's angsty, but it's also really like happy at times, and also just insane. Like, sometimes they do the weirdest stuff for no reason, but it's hilarious. Highly recommend the Hogwarts Hexad series. Yeah, here's the second one, which is Scarlet Berry, the Hogwarts Hexad and the Chamber of What Now, which was finished back in March of this year, and now we're on Prisoner of Azkaban. But I love the Hogwarts Hexad series so much. Yeah, we're still on like Drarry, Second Chance. Oh, Second Chances. Oh, I love Second Chances. Basically, Harry, Hermione and George Weasley, they go back in time and try and change everything. Really good fic. It's just such a good fic. It's like a fix-it fic, but also like they've gone back in time, so they have knowledge of what happens. Such a good fic. We're still firmly in Drarry. Oh, Silver Trinkets. I forgot about that fic. This fic actually doesn't have any ships in. Let me just check that. No, it doesn't have any ships in. It is like kind of pureblood fix it, I guess. Like, the purebloods figure out this way to like test people's blood to see how much magic they actually have, and it's like pure blood goes out the window because it's just a like thing as to what color your trinket is, and that kind of determines how magical you are. It's just a really good fic. It's got Hermione in, and I love a good Slytherin Hermione. Hermione's just a genius, and I love her for it. This fic does her so well. It's 16 chapters, 80,000 words. And I believe this is just like first year, I think. Like, they're still like very young, but I love them so much. Oh, the Resorting of Lions. Oh, I love this fic. It's also a Drarry fic, but it's obviously, as the title says, resorting fic. Basically, after Sirius Black escapes from Azkaban, the Aurors come and like search Hogwarts, and a sneaker scope goes off next to the sorting hat. They find out it's been tampered with, and everyone who's been sorted in the last 3 years has to be resorted. And Harry and Hermione both go to different houses, and basically, it is Ron Weasley bashing, I will like pre-warn you, but it's such a good fic. It's like the best of like Slytherin Harry, but also he's been Gryffindor before. So like the first 2 years are unchanged. It's like third year where everything changes. So it's still like there's some stuff from canon, but it's also departed from canon at a certain point. It's like this is the story, and then canon goes this way, and this fic goes the other way. And it's so good though. It's just so good. It's 19 chapters, 80,000 words. It is unfinished. I will warn you now, it's unfinished. And it hasn't been updated since 2020. But I don't care because it's that good. And that's saying something because I hate unfinished fics. But this fic is just so good. I highly recommend it. Oh, and here we go, another time travel AU. I did have a phase where I was severely into time travel AUs, you know, the ones where Harry goes back in time and fixes everything. Love those. You know, they make me happy. And then I think we're like firmly entrenched in Drarry for a while. Yeah, Drarry. Can you tell I like Drarry? At this point, I'm into the Harry Potter's teachers notice that he's not acting like a normal child trope and do something about it. Because that doesn't happen, you know, in the books. And obviously that quite often goes hand in hand with some Drarry, so that's how I got into it, you know. I am going to try and skip through these more quickly now because it's just a lot of Drarry. I'm just going to carry on looking until I stop reading Harry Potter stuff, which probably won't happen anytime soon. Because I had a proper Harry Potter phase for a long time. Not even Marauders, just pure Harry Potter. Oh, the Promise series, another Hinny series. I'm currently rereading the final fic in the series. There's 4 fics. They're all really good. They are like very niche, so if you're a Hinny fan but also like Dumbledore bashing fan, which I don't know if there's that many, but I'm one of them. But if you like that kind of thing, the Promise series, the first fic is called It's Okay Not to Be Okay, but I Promise I'm Trying. Really good. I love that fic so much, and I'm currently rereading the series, which I think tells you everything. More Harry Potter, more Harry Potter, more Harry Potter, more Harry Potter. We're back in the Dudley Dursley has a magical child phase, and we're now in like November 2023, by the way, so I've been using ao3 for over 6 months at this point. Harry Potter, Harry Potter. We're on page 16 of 22, by the way, and I'm going backwards, so that's how much Harry Potter fics like we have to go through. So I don't think we're going to get anywhere until we get to like page 12, really. Oh, actually, 27th of November 2023, I bookmarked all the young dudes, which is Marauders, which is kind of, you know, it's Harry Potter adjacent, but it's Marauders, it's separate, you know. I didn't actually think it was then. I thought it was more like March. Maybe I bookmarked it at the start and then it took me ages to read it because it did take me a long time to finish all the young dudes. I just had to keep taking breaks because it was just so angsty. If you don't know, All the Young Dudes is probably one of the most famous Wolfstar fics. I don't know why it took me so long to read it, because I used to read Wolfstar on Wattpad, like in 2018. So I don't know why it took me so long to read this on ao3, because everyone talks about it on TikTok and stuff. But it's an amazing fic. I think this is my favourite fanfiction of all time. It is, I have it downloaded, like all that kind of thing. I love All the Young Dudes so much. It is 188 chapters and 500,000 words. Still not the longest fanfic I've read. Lily's Boy takes that cake, but it is a long read, and because it just is so angsty, sometimes you do need to take a few breaks. But it is so good, and it's one of few fics that have original characters in I still love. Like Grant Chapman, I love that man. I would do anything for Grant Chapman. Every time I see the word Grant, I'm just like, Grant Chapman, Grant Chapman. I made a TikTok about that the other day. Well, I said the other day, it was like a month ago now. But yeah, I love All the Young Dudes so much. And I have a feeling, as soon as we go to the next page, I will be in my Marauders era. Yeah, I read Text Talk after that. Text Talk's great fic as well. Oh, and then we take... Oh, I know what I'm doing here. That's like a random one out of nowhere where I started reading Fred Hermione for a bit. But after that, we've got like Wolfstar fics, which have Wolfstar tagged, because I was searching by that ship, but they're actually like post-war, well not post-war, but like Harry Potter era Wolfstar type thing, if you get what I mean. So these are like actually more like Harry Potter fanfics rather than Marauders fanfics, but they still have Wolfstar in, if you get what I'm saying. And yeah, we're fully in my Fred Hermione era here. I do love a good bit of Fred Hermione. It's niche, but I love it. I think part of me just thinks that I hate Ron and Hermione so much that I will take Hermione with anyone else. But Fred Hermione does have my heart. It is one of my favourite ships. And I do love Fred Hermione fics. They're so good. Especially ones where it's not just like post-war and stuff and they're just like, oh, Fred lived and now we're going to do this. I do like it when it's like done from when they're a bit younger and they kind of grow up together, that kind of thing. There's one really good fic. I don't know where it is, but there is a fic where kind of Hermione doesn't become as close friends with Harry and Ron as she does in the books, and instead she becomes really close friends with like Fred and George. Great fic. I absolutely love that fic. I don't know where it is, but oh, here we go, found it. It's called Stealing Soft Smiles. So good. It's a full rewrite of the entire series where Hermione makes more friends than just Harry and Ron. Like, I'm reading that from the description of the fic. That's what it is. I love it so much. Unweston, Fred Myrie. Oh, that's Drarry again. Fred Miney, Drarry. Oh, and now we're into Jegulus. We found the Jegulus people. That's the Black Sparrow, which I read last December. I love the Black Sparrow. I haven't read too much Jegulus. I've read quite a few, but I've been stuck on Best Friend's Brother for a while. I've been like halfway through it, and then I was like, because the chapters are just so long, sometimes I'm like, I need a short thing to get over it with. And then I started watching another TV show, and then I've just been reading stuff for that. You know, that's kind of the way it works. But we're still mainly in the Harry Potter era. Oh, we're back on Buddy. Of course we are, back on Buddy. I presume somewhere, yep, there, those two firefighters. Those two firefighters is such a good fic. If you don't know, it's told from like the perspective of Tumblr, which sounds really weird, but it's basically like, there's that episode of 911, I can't remember what season it's in, but there's someone who's doing a live stream and they get called out and Eddie and Buck are there and they turn the live stream off. And basically from there, people are speculating that they're dating and they call them those two firefighters. But they're not dating. And then it's just told from the perspective of people like meeting them as like the people we see in the show who have emergencies. And then they post about it and be like, they're definitely dating. No, they're not dating. They might have a kid. And it's great storytelling. I absolutely love it. That fic is kind of the most similar to Idiots on Reddit that I can think of, in that it's told through mostly social media posts. But I love it so much. It's very different to Idiots on Reddit because it's told by other people that aren't like Buck, Eddie and Anna, but like Idiots on Reddit is. I love those two firefighters though. And then we're fully into like a big buddy kind of era. Like I've gone through 3 pages of just pure buddy. Oh, and we found where I started watching Chicago PD. Yep, 19th of April 2024, that makes sense. Basically, if you don't know the One Chicago series, there's 3 TV shows: Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, and Chicago Med. They all have different amounts of seasons, but they all take place in the same universe. They have characters which hop across to different shows. They have characters that are related across different shows, and they're all like interconnected. They have crossover episodes and stuff like that. Basically, back in March, April time, I decided to watch all of them in order from the beginning, because before I'd only watched like a season of Chicago Fire and then like 5 seasons of Chicago Med. So I decided just to start from the beginning of Fire and go in order, and I fell in love with that. I absolutely love those shows. I don't know how I feel about them now that all the characters I love have left. I don't know how I feel about Chicago PD now that Haley's gone. I'm not okay with that. Okay, I'm really not okay. I mentioned in another video that Jay's exit, I was screaming like, divorce? Sorry, divorce? Sorry for the spoiler if you haven't watched it. Sorry. But there's a lot of divorce fix-it fics on that ao3, so I've read a lot of Upstead fics over the past few months since I finished Chicago PD. I do still love that show. Like, I need to do a rewatch of One Chicago soon. I know it's only been 6 months, but like I've forgotten what happens in season 1. Season 1, it was so long ago. But we are on like page 6 of my bookmark, so we're making our way up to present day. But yeah, this is going to be pretty much entirely Chicago PD for a bit. Yep, Chicago PD. Oh, and we're back on Drarry. I moved back to Drarry, it looks like, on the 22nd of May is the first fanfic that I've bookmarked that's Drarry, post like my One Chicago phase. Well, Chicago PD phase really, because that's my favourite one. But I don't know if I actually started reading Drarry before that, because obviously I would have reread fics that I've already bookmarked and I can't like bookmark them again or whatever. And I do reread fics a lot. I love rereading fics. It's one of my favourite things to do. So like I might have actually started reading Drarry again before this, but this is the first evidence I have that I've moved back to Drarry. And we stay on Drarry for a bit before we go back to Buddy. And then if we go back to page 2, I've been in my Criminal Minds era for a bit. Not like ship Criminal Minds fics, because ships with Criminal Minds, they're like quite hit or miss for me. Like, I love Gemily so much, but there's not a lot of fics that have that as a main ship that I like really enjoy. Sorry. Like, I love Gemily, but I haven't looked for fics specifically for it, mainly because I'm currently rewatching Criminal Minds and I want to wait till afterwards. Basically with Criminal Minds, right, I love Criminal Minds. I have loved Criminal Minds since I was about 13 years old. However, I have never watched past season 11 because I got to Morgan's last episode and then was like, I'm gonna stop now. I got a bit bored and I was always had the intention of going back to it, and that was my first watch of Criminal Minds. But then I decided, no, I don't want to deal with that, because I found out what happens to my favourite character in season 12. My favourite character is Spencer Reid. I'm sure any Criminal Minds fan knows what happens to him in season 12. So I decided to rewatch from the start, and every time I've rewatched, I haven't gone past season 7 when Emily leaves, because that's my favourite iteration of the team, is Hotch, Rossi, Prentice, JJ, Spencer, Morgan, and Garcia. I love that kind of team build. Obviously that you have that bit where like Emily dies. Spoiler, by the way. Spoilers for Criminal Minds, but Emily dies, then you have Siva for a bit, and there's when JJ goes on maternity leave. But seasons 3 to 7 are my favourite Criminal Minds seasons, so I've never gone past season 7, and currently I'm on the end of season 6 on my rewatch, and I want to get to the point where I can watch Evolution and stuff, and I can watch the whole show. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I know what happened. Obviously, at the beginning of season 7, you have Emily coming back, which is why I'm holding off on finishing season 6. But obviously, I know I'm going to watch that, and maybe, just maybe, I might make it all the way to the end of the show to season 15 and then watch Evolution as well. Who knows? I've been reading quite a few platonic Criminal Minds fics where it's just like team, like being cool together and being friends. Like, who doesn't love that? You know, who doesn't? Because Criminal Minds ships, I don't have many that I really love apart from Gemily, and I don't specifically look for fics for that because a lot of them are based on like later seasons that I haven't watched, and I don't want to spoil for myself. So I just haven't looked yet. So a lot of these are just platonic, but that comes up to my most recent bookmark was on the 23rd of August, so 5 days ago. Like, that's how long it's been since I've read a fic that I really enjoyed enough to bookmark. But yeah, we've gone through all my bookmarks now. As you can see, I have very specific taste. I go through phases where I read one fandom for ages and ages and ages, and then I'll switch to another fandom. And even within those fandoms, I will switch ships, especially in Harry Potter, where you kind of have Hogwarts era, and then post-Hogwarts, post-war era, and then Marauders era. Like, those all feel like very different kinds of fics, even though they're all technically in the same fandom. Like, Marauders is like, in my head, Marauders is completely different, but Harry Potter's the same, like, even at Hogwarts or post-war. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed listening to me prattle on about my bookmarks. I have so many, so many bookmarks. It's a problem, isn't it? I bookmark things too often, I feel. Like, as soon as I like a fic, bookmark. That's like my way of saying when I click on it again and I see like edit bookmark instead of bookmark, I will know, oh, I've read this before and I really liked it, I should read it again. That's what I'm thinking in my head. And that's why I bookmark stuff so often. People use bookmarks in different ways though, like each to their own, but that's how I use it. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I have to do the awkward, cringy YouTube thing of asking you to like if you enjoyed and subscribe if you want to see more. I'm thinking about filming some more fanfiction videos soon and maybe some IRL videos. I keep saying I'm going to do that, haven't done it yet. And if you want to see me talk about anything to do with fanfiction, like leave a comment and I'll talk about it maybe. Who knows, we'll see. So yeah, I've been Claudia. I hope you enjoyed the video and hopefully I'll see you all very soon. Bye!